Once upon a time in the city of Lagos, Nigeria, two best friends, Tunde and Tolan, shared a bond that was unbreakable. They had been inseparable since their university days, supporting each other through thick and thin. Tunde, a software engineer with a charming smile, and Tolan, a spirited fashion designer with a heart of gold, were the epitome of platonic friendship. Tunde and Tolan's friendship was forged in the fires of late-night study sections, shared heartbreaks, and endless laughter. When Tunde's father passed away during their final year at university, Tolan was his rock, helping him through the darkest days. Similarly, when Tolan's first fashion line failed to launch, Tunde was there, offering support and encouragement. Tunde, do you remember our first studies section? Tolan asked one evening as he sat watching the sunset over Lagos. How could I forget? You were convinced we would never pass the final exams, and I was determined to prove you wrong, Tunde said. Tolan smiled. You did, and more than that, you helped me see that failure wasn't the end of the world. Their bond was evident in their easy banter and the comfortable silences they often shared. It was a connection that went beyond words, built on years of trust and mutual respect. One sunny afternoon, Tunde received an invitation to his grandmother's 70th birthday party in his hometown of Ibadan. Reluctant to face his large and nosy family alone, he convinced Tolan to accompany him. Please, Tolan, Tunde pleaded over lunch at their favorite restaurant. You know how my family is. If I show up alone, they will never stop trying to set me up with every single woman in Ibadan. Tolan laughed. All right, Tunde, but you owe me one. The drive to Ibadan was filled with laughter and music. Tunde and Tolan sang along to their favorite songs, reminiscing about their university days and sharing dreams for the future. You know, Tunde, Tolan said, her eyes sparkling with excitement, I am thinking of starting a new fashion line, something inspired my traditional Yoruba prints. That sounds amazing, Tolan, Tunde replied. You have always had a knack for blending tradition with modern styles. I am sure it will be a hit. As they drove past lush landscapes and bustling towns, their conversation flowed effortlessly, each moment solidifying the bond they shared. They arrived in Ibadan to the warm embrace of Tunde's lively and warm-hearted relatives, who immediately assumed Tolan was Tunde's girlfriend. Tunde, who is this beautiful woman? Auntie Kemi asked with a twinkle in her eye. This is Tolan, my friend, Tunde replied, his voice trailing off awkwardly. Mama Tola, Tunde's grandmother, beamed at them. Ha, Tolan, welcome, my dear. It's so nice to finally meet the woman who has captured my grandson's heart. Despite their initial protest, Tunde and Tolan decided to play along to avoid the matchmaking antics of Auntie Kemi. This decision led to a series of events. One night, after an elaborate family dinner, Tunde's mischievous cousins, Bayo and Shade, set up a romantic dinner in the garden, complete with candlelight and soft music. What is this? Tolan whispered to Tunde as they approached the table. I think it's a setup, Tunde replied, trying to hide his amusement. Let's just play along. As they sat down, Bayo and Shade watched from behind a tree, giggling. You know, Tunde began, looking at Tolan seriously. This might actually be nice if it weren't so ridiculous. Tolan smiled. You are right. It's kind of sweet in a weird way. As the days went on, Tolan found herself genuinely enjoying the familiar chaos. She shared stories with Tunde's cousins and laughed with his uncles. One evening, during a family game of Ludo, Tolani caught Tunde watching her with a new intensity, a look she hadn't seen before. "Tunde, are you okay?" Tolani asked, noticing his distant gaze. "Yeah, I am fine, just thinking," Tunde replied, quickly looking away. As if the weekend wasn't already eventful enough, an unexpected visitor arrived. Tunde's childhood friend, Shegun. Shegun was charismatic and instantly hit it off with Tolani. "Tolani, this is Shegun, my old friend from secondary school," Tunde introduced reluctantly. Shegun's eyes brightened up. "Nice to meet you, Tolani. Tunde didn't tell me he had such a charming friend." Tolani smiled, feeling a bit flustered. "Nice to meet you too, Shegun." Over the next few hours, Tunde noticed Shegun getting increasingly close to Tolani. They laughed together, shared stories, and even planned a walk around the neighborhood. Tunde felt a pang of jealousy he couldn't ignore. That evening, as Tolani and Shegun prepared to go on their walk, Tunde pulled Shegun aside. "Shegun, can I talk to you for a moment?" "Sure, what's up?" Shegun replied, looking puzzled. Tunde hesitated, then said, "I know we are old friends, but Tolani and I, we are kind of together." Shegun raised an eyebrow. "Kind of? You mean you are dating?" Tunde swallowed hard. "Yes, exactly. So I'd appreciate it if you backed off a little." Shegun chuckled. "All right, Tunde. I get it. I will respect your relationship." Tunde watched Shegun walk away, feeling a mix of relief and uncertainty. He realized that his jealousy was more than just protectiveness. It was a sign of his deepening feelings for Tolani. The next day, as the family busied themselves with preparations for Mama Tola's birthday celebration, Tolani pulled Tunde aside. "I have a surprise for you," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "A surprise?" Tunde echoed, curious. Tolani gave him a neatly wrapped package. "Open it." Tunde carefully unwrapped the gift, revealing a beautiful tailored shirt in vibrant Yoruba prints. "Tolani, this is amazing. You made this?" Tolani nodded. "I thought you could wear it for the birthday celebration. It will make you stand out." Tunde was deeply touched. "Thank you, Tolani. This means a lot to me." He pulled her into a warm hug, feeling a surge of affection and gratitude. Tolani smiled as she hugged him back. "I am glad you like it." That evening, during the family dinner, Tolani wore a stunning dress she had designed herself. The dress highlighted her beauty and grace. As she entered the dining room, conversations halted and all eyes turned to her. Tunde was particularly mesmerized. "Tolani, you look breathtaking," he said, his voice filled with genuine admiration. Tolani blushed. "Thank you, Tunde. You don't look bad yourself." The dinner was filled with laughter and lively conversations. Tunde couldn't take his eyes off Tolani, his admiration growing with every passing moment. He watched as she charmed his relatives. Her laughter filled the room like music. That evening, during the grand birthday celebration for Mama Tola, the family gathered for speeches and shared stories. As Mama Tola shared the story of her own love life, filled with unexpected twists and turns, Tunde felt a surge of courage. In a spontaneous moment, during the height of the celebration, Tunde stood up, drawing everyone's attention. "Excuse me, everyone," Tunde began, his voice steady but his heart racing. "I have something important to say." Tolani looked at him, confused and slightly alarmed. "Tunde, what are you doing?" she whispered. Taking a deep breath, Tunde continued, "Tolani, you have been my best friend for years. This weekend has made me realize how much you mean to me. I have fallen in love with you and I don't want to lose you." The room fell silent, all eyes on Tolani. Overwhelmed with emotion, she realized she had fallen for Tunde too. "Tunde," she began, her voice shaking, "I have fallen for you too. Yes, I will be with you." The room erupted in cheers and applause, the joyous family celebrating their new love. After dinner, Tunde and Tolani shared a kiss, their journey from friends to lovers, filled with laughter, love, and suspense, proved that sometimes love is unplanned but always meant to be. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.